It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Insight. I'm Jim Quinn, along with Mayor Anthony Fanucci from the city of Vineland. And Mayor, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Jim.
So how are everything going? I'll tell you what, I go by John Ruga's place. Tell everybody what's going on there.
What isn't going on there?
Oh, my goodness.
The development's been incredible between, Northeast Precast and what it's done, the data center, what he's doing, the golf course. It's just been absolutely amazing.
It's fantastic, isn't it? It really is.
Very fortunate.
And it's funny, I used to own the property right next to that, the WMPP radio station.
Yeah, you wish you owned that now.
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah. I'd be selling it to John.
Oh, goodness, it's true. But they've done a heck of a job there. And,
they have.
And, just expanding their footprint, everything they've worked on so diligently to establish the precast company there and grow to the point where they've grown now. And then the data center, and of course, the golf course that he's involved with, with Mike Trout.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
The data center is supposed to be astronomical in size, right, Mayor?
So it's, interestingly enough, the misconceptions in data centers are abundant. So this particular first building is only 100,000 square feet.
Only?
Yeah, only, right. Well, they thought it was going to be $1 million in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's where all the rumor mill started.
Okay, I did hear that. Yeah.
So they're going to have, I think, 3 or 4 buildings, all about 100,000 square foot footprint, and that's about it over there. But they've done a great job and in working with these companies, bringing these people in from all across the world. And there's going to be so many technological advancements out of that data center alone, which is unbelievable. And most people probably saw the article. Microsoft has now leased all the computers from the company that's going to be the tenant there.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing. I'll tell you, it couldn't happen for 2 better people than John and Lori Ruga.
Oh, they're super, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely.
In fact, I got a nice story from my standpoint. John started the business in Millville. And I was the mayor, went down there. I was really impressed. I'm like, wow, he's putting together all these blocks and, just already precast to put it in. It wasn't called Northeast Precast then. It was some other.
Superior Walls.
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So anyway, I was so impressed with John. So then every so often, I'd get down with the economic development director. Anything we could do for you, John, all that kind of stuff. And he said, no, but thanks for coming. Well, anyway, he ended up moving and going to Vineland, which I'm happy for you. I was sad for Millville. He said to me, Jim, you know what? After you were out as mayor, they never came to see me. Nobody contacted me. And he said Vineland was interested, so I wanted to go. And
we knew that would happen. I was just waiting for you to be done as mayor because I didn't want to take it
I
from
appreciate that. Thank you. You're my friend.
We moved him over to Vineland.
You sure did.
And put him right on the border of Vineland and Millville, too, no less.
Yeah.
But, we're very fortunate. But it was time for growth for them that this property in Vineland could provide. But honestly, that property needed someone very much with the ability to reshape it, much like John and Lori Ruga's business. The average person could not have come in there, bought that land, and done anything with it.
Because it was a sand plant, right?
Yeah, you remember. And
I do.
It was, it was difficult. It was a great partnership that we had with the Improvement Authority to help us acquire that land and then, work the structure out to where it is today, which we are very, very blessed and fortunate to have everything that is there and more that will be coming.
It's fabulous. It really is. What a wonderful thing for Vineland and, for Cumberland County. It was interesting. I had Jerry Velasquez on recently, and I was telling him how proud I was of the Cumberland County Improvement Authority. When I was still a freeholder and I was on the South Jersey Development Council, there were 4 freeholders, one from Cape May County, Atlantic County, Cumberland, and Salem. So I'm sitting at one of the meetings, and the Cape May County guy, the guy that has the amusement rides, Will Morey, he said, Jim, I just want to tell you, the Cumberland County Improvement Authority is fantastic. I said, really? He said, yeah, they took over a project and helped them put it together on Route 9 and 47 in Rio Grande. And he said, it was just wonderful what they did for us. And then Salem County said, oh yeah, he saved us millions of dollars on the expansion of the courthouse. He came in with really good monies, good bid for them. And I'm thinking, geez, this is great. So I'm very proud of what they've been able to do. Absolutely. And I know they've worked with you in Violent too, right?
On several things, absolutely. We have a great working relationships there with Jerry and his team. So again, very fortunate to have them around, because if you know how to leverage an authority, it's a very valuable tool.
Yeah, it's true.
Most municipalities don't know how to work with their authorities, let alone leverage them. And working, and not for nothing, but Violent gives the largest contribution back to the county. It's nice to kind of be able to share resources once in a while.
Yeah, and I mean they have an easier way of getting the money than the municipality for the bonding and all that kind of standpoint. So Jerry was telling me the other day, with all the impact that they've had, it was $600 and some million. And then it goes close to $1 billion when you figure all the services and other things that have come in with it. But that's really good to see. But it's just wonderful to see all the growth in Vineland all the time. I mean, how's the convention center doing?
Fantastic. So renovations will be complete in the next few weeks. First event is scheduled November 15th and 16th.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's sort of like a fan con type situation. They have a number of people coming in. The most notable star is Melissa Joan Hart. If you remember some years back, there was a show called Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
She was the main actress.
Oh, wow.
In the show. She's coming in. There's going to be a lot. We have a number of people that have already committed to attending that event. And then they've already booked, I believe, 5 more things for the new year already.
Oh, that's super.
We haven't even advertised it yet.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It really is.
No, it'll be great for the city. It'll be great for the downtown. It'll be great for the businesses and the merchants. This is going to be a positive all the way around.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Well, anyway, we're going to be taking a commercial break. But before we do that, I want to say happy birthday to a very nice lady who's up in Glassboro, Sarah Darren. Sarah's celebrating her birthday today. And what's nice, Mayor, is with YouTube, people all over can watch.
Right.
Which has really been great. We've got people in Florida, all over the country that watch, because they lived here or have interest in it. But
happy birthday, Sarah.
Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. And we'll be back with more right after these messages.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Hello, I'm John Capozola.
And I'm Yolanda Garcia-Balicki, and together we're running for Cumberland County Board of Commissioners, and I'm asking for your vote to restore progress to Cumberland County.
For too many years, our Republican-led Commissioners Board has failed our county. They've come up short with a jail resolution. They've also fumbled the opportunity for a county broadband initiative. They've left millions of dollars of federal grant money on the table. Now our cities and our townships are left to negotiate for themselves.
They've driven away experienced employees and replaced them with friends and families. And while they claim to hold the line on taxes, we know they have spent our county surplus, which will ultimately lead to a painful tax increase in the future.
It's time to bring back stability, opportunity, and integrity here in Cumberland County. Vote for yours truly, John Capizzola, and my awesome running mate, Yolanda Garcia-Balecki, for Cumberland County Commissioner.
Vote column A. Let's protect our future by restoring progress to Cumberland County.
Paid for by Capizzola and Garcia-Balecki for Commissioner.
We're all looking for God. All the signs point to, there is really a God. We try to find him in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places, and through all kinds of things. But there's only one way to find him. That's by personal experience with him. Come visit us this Sunday. We can introduce you to him. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. We're here at the Queen Diner in Millville. A great place to come. The food is fantastic. The portions are wonderful. And Yelmaz Kankel and the Med, his dad, they're wonderful people to deal with. So stop on in and enjoy a good meal. That I promise you. And you know, Mayor, as we talk about good meals, I'll tell you what, Vineland has some fabulous restaurants. My daughter and her boyfriend recently, the three of us went to the Olympia. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. People say the food there is as good as it is in Greece.
Yeah,
I
Olympia's
love their
food is excellent.
Yeah.
We eat it, you know, that's like a Sunday meal for the kids.
Uh-huh.
When I decide I'm not cooking, they want Olympia. So we go to Olympia, and I'll tell you what, it never fails.
Yeah.
It's so consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, you can't even eat all the damn food they give.
No, I know. I take half of it.
Yeah, I got to separate it into two meals.
Yeah.
But they do a great job there, and they've been around forever.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, Gino is my neighbor that's managing the place now. So.
Yeah, no, they do a great job. We're lucky in our area. If you want food and you want like ethnic, you know, if you want
that's true.
American, it's great. You want Italian, we have some good Italian. You want Greek, you want other Mediterranean cultures. You want Spanish, you want, Puerto Rican, you want Jamaican, you want vegan. There's something for everyone.
Yeah, that is wonderful. It really is. I actually enjoy some vegan food as well. We have the vegan that I go to Wildflowers in Millville. But, in fact, this is interesting. Rick Cott, is he not your public?
He's running my PAL program.
PAL, that's right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I had Rick on with me. Rick is now vegan. He looked fantastic. So he was my guest at the Motorsports Park a couple of years ago, I guess it was. And he said, Jim, I only eat vegan food. So the chef out there is fabulous. The food is very good, and it's very reasonable. So I said to Antonio, the chef, I said, could you make him a vegan meal? Sure. He made it. And Rick said, my God, Jim, this is one of the best vegan meals I've ever had.
How about that?
Yeah. But, people that have done that, and Rick looks fabulous for, being able to.
I met a guy yesterday, and it's funny you brought up the Motorsports Park. So yesterday I had the honor of attending an event in Philadelphia for the head of the Italian Army, General Masiello. General Masiello is here from Italy. He was being honored. So there's a big, luncheon event with him being given awards and talking about the partnership with the United States and how they value it, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the day, a gentleman comes over to me and says, somebody told me that you're the mayor of Vineland. I said, yeah, it's nice to meet you. I can't remember his name right now, but I have his business card at home. He was a part of the SMART program, and the SMART program was one of the programs that helped develop the Motorsports Park.
Oh, okay.
And he was going on and on and on about the program and all the people he was involved with and who the original people were over there.
Yeah. And Harvey Siegel, Lee Brand. Lee Brand is in Philadelphia still. So they were two of the original people.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who they were, and I couldn't, give him a name. I said, but I was coming on the show tonight. I'd have to ask you. And I forgot until you just mentioned it.
Brad Scott runs the place now. But, here's something interesting. Talking about the motorsports park. When I was mayor, we brought that in. And actually, it probably cost me being the mayor because of the noise. People got mad. And I lost a lot of votes. So I finished 90 votes behind Timmy Shannon. And I was the vice mayor. But what's interesting was we had to give them a bait. But you know that.
Sure.
If you don't get them. But you got the public up there. You can't give them that. Bah, 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 negative, negative, negative. And guess what? They went to these exotic car garages. I was out there with Joe Pepitone the other day having dinner. We drove around. Mayor, there's got to be like 70 of these exotic car garages, $380,000 each. Now, what a rateable that is for Millville. No kids in school, no crime, no problems.
What do you mean, Jim? You ruined it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yep. But I mean, what a wonderful thing that that they offer there, and we're lucky to have them.
Is it that loud?
Well, I guess for the people.
I mean, I've been there to a race, and I know on site it's loud.
Yeah.
But is it really that loud for the neighbors?
Well, I guess it is for some. Yeah.
Okay.
And, our argument was, well, you had Airwork Corporation that ran jet engines all the time. But yeah, to some of a friend of mine lives out that way, and he goes, Jim, you know what? I just tune it out. It becomes a buzz. It's no big thing to do that. But the benefit that they brought to this community is fabulous. I mean, I don't know what 70 times 380,000 is, but that's a heck of a rateable base with no
goodness,
nothing.
No drain on the system.
No, they don't even.
Do they still have like the townhouses out there or whatever?
Yes, they do. Yeah, they have the townhouses as well.
So somebody could have their garage and have a townhome.
Yeah.
So they can come stay for long weekends.
Yeah.
And
Well, what the exotic car garages are is actually an apartment upstairs and a garage downstairs. So that
there you go.
kills two birds with one stone. They do very well.
I always see cars getting trailered in.
Yeah.
Because, they end up coming through Vineland down Lincoln to get out there. And I see them at like Wawa or at the gas station, and you'll see the Porsches. And I know they do the Ferraris out there. They let you learn how to drive a Ferrari on the track and things. I think that's neat.
It is.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Like, where else?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to normally go somewhere way out of here to do anything.
Yep, they have the monster truck show, and a lot of nice things that they do. And as I say, it's been a good thing for the city, especially with those exotic car garages. The rateable base is fabulous.
That's great to hear.
Goes with it. Yeah.
I knew they did a couple of them. I didn't know how many until you just said that.
Oh, it's on, and they're still building. There's like 7 more being built right now.
How about that?
They're going right around the track, and that's why I said Joe Pepitone and I the other day we drove and looked at it, and Joe goes, "Look, Jim, right around the corner, are still building it," and they are. And a local fellow has done the building. I should know his name, but at least they're keeping the business local, things like that.
Nice.
Which is great. Yeah, it really is.
I remember Don Fauerbach was there for a long time.
Absolutely.
I run into Don every once in a while.
You know where he is now, right?
No.
He's with John and Lori Rubin.
Oh, he's over there. That's right. He did tell me. I forgot.
He is a worker.
I do see him every now and again. Well, he don't quit either, huh?
He told me they go in 5:30 in the morning, he gets done at 6:30 at night. He's a heck of a worker. He really is, and he loves the work.
God bless.
Yeah, it's like,
God bless. I mean, that's got to really be an undertaking out there running that motorsports park, because there's got to be a lot of, moving parts to these things when you have races and cars coming in and checking people in, and and they still have the restaurant up top, as you're saying, which I've eaten there a couple times over the years, and I've never had a bad meal. I've been to a couple fundraisers where they've done like beef and beer kind of things up there, like for baseball teams and stuff like that. And they've always done a nice job. But it is really a unique setup for somewhere like that in Cumberland County.
Yeah.
But nobody appreciates anything, so.
No, they tend to be negative. That's the one thing I find. Although, talk about negativity, it was not a good week. This past month has not been good. My building sits next to Peter Lumber Company, and on the third Friday, not this past one, the one before that, my daughter's in the building, and she hears gunshots. I said, "Dad, I heard these gunshots." Yeah, there sure were gunshots. A guy was killed 1 building away from my building at High and Oak on third Friday. I mean, it's like, when does this ever end? And, the difficult thing is, and and we've talked about this to you guys' credit in Vineland, you've maintained your numbers because you pay them. Millville's numbers are way down in police officers. Now, they did do something that was pretty smart. They got the UEZ money and they hired the sheriff to come in and take care of the UEZ area to help them, which was a smart thing to do. But it was sad. I think about when I got to be mayor in 1997, we had 19 special ones. Now they have one, and he does animal control. And unfortunately, the way that it's gotten, the special ones don't carry guns, so you can't have them. You could never put a special one on 2nd, 3rd Street and all that kind of stuff because there's a lot of gunfire and activity.
What a shame.
It really is, yeah. I mean, and it's just really sad. I'm not a believer. I've often said, I've told the story that when I was invited as the mayor to a candlelight vigil in honor of a young man who was killed, I went there, was up on the porch, and expressed my condolences to the young man's mother and sister. And I said to the crowd that was out there, and this is the way I do feel, I said, I feel anyone possessing an illegal gun should do 3 to 5 years in prison. I come off the steps, one of the cops comes over to me, puts his arm on my shoulder, he said, hey, Mayor, half the people you just said that to right now are packing. Oh, my God. He said, I'm serious. And I said, geez. And then I told the story at school, and this kid who lived in the neighborhood over there, a big kid, raised his hand. He said, hey, Mayor, you live where I live, you'd want to have a gun. It's like, oh, my goodness. And they're so prevalent. It's just really a shame. But I'm not a gun person, so I never get the NRA vote, that's for sure.
It's all right. I mean, listen, I grew up in a family that hunted, right? So, I grew up hunting and learning how to, work with firearms and have respect for shotguns and rifles and, and then, pistols as a hobby. I do have a permit to conceal carry, but I don't use it, Frankly, I only got it so when I transport my stuff to the range, when I go to qualify and do different things a few times a year when I shoot, I don't have to lock everything up in the trunk because it's a pain in the rear end to unload. I'm lazy. That's why I went and got it. But I believe that your police forces should be adequately armed and to deal with anything that comes across. And that's our belief in Vineland and why we buy them the weapons that we buy them in the police department. I don't believe in illegal firearms at all. I believe people have the right to own a gun if they want to so choose, but they have to go through the process and do it right. But there are a lot of illegal firearms on the streets, and it's sad, that cities all around the country have not taken control of violent crime. There's a lot of, I hear it on the news. There's a lot of argument that, it's all these, liberal cities. It's some of them, yes, there is a pattern in certain areas because they're not big on police force. We know how the cops were vilified for a number of years unfairly. However, there are a lot of cities that are independent cities. I'm sure there are some right-leaning cities that have issues too. It's just a matter of where you are and what you're dealing with and the element around you. But the leadership in those cities has to be strong. You have to put your foot down and deal. And you guys are a little different. So you have a public safety commissioner, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah. So who is that in Millville?
I forget the guy's name, to be honest with you.
Okay. But that person has to work with that police department and figure out ways within the budget to deal with the finance commissioner to find the funding to get these officers. We're always scrambling because we get very highly trained officers. They work their rear end off, but then they get recruited by the state police and they poach them from us. Or some other municipality that is way bigger and has, bigger base and has a shorter salary guide, and they poach them. So the retention for us sometimes is difficult. But in Vineland, because we're so large, we have the ability to have specialty units, community policing, traffic, juvenile, street crimes, anti-drug. We have a lot of these things. So there's room for men and women to grow within the department. And of course, we have 28 sergeants, 7 or 8 lieutenants, a few captains.
How many officers do you have?
159 fully sworn.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And we're growing.
That's
because
fabulous.
we need to get them back.
That is wonderful.
And it's even tough with those numbers because you know how big we are and how spread out we are. You have a call in, North Vineland bordering Malaga, right?
Yeah, that's true. And you're down near John Ruga's place.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take you 20 minutes to respond.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a big deal, and it's there. But I encourage all leaders in government, understand something. Without law and order, You don't have a peaceful environment for people to live in. You don't have. They talk about economic development.
Yeah.
Development's one thing. Retention's another.
Yeah.
You need to retain your businesses, and if you can't provide them a safe environment for them and their employees, what good are we?
Well, and that's what was terrible that Friday when the shooting, the murder occurred. It was right next to Village on High, which is one of the places that, came in when I was the mayor, and they do a wonderful job. And it's one of the few places left that still has artists and different people there. And it's like, oh my goodness, and somebody recently was talking about, I don't know if you had this in Vinyl. I don't find it when I go to the Vinyl Wawas, but in the Millville Wawas, they're panhandling all the time. And, people have talked about that and talked about the homeless, and, it's just a lot of problems.
We've had those issues, but we've enforced it. Like, we have power of attorney to be on Wawa's properties and other properties, and now we can go out there and move along. Like, get out of here.
Right.
Because panhandling itself isn't necessarily a crime.
Right.
But the harassment
Yeah.
is a different issue. So if someone feels like they're being harassed or it's a problem, because they have power of attorney, the cops can pull these people out and do it.
That's good.
So we're holding them accountable.
Yeah.
And we are. And that's important that, when we encounter someone that's homeless, the first thing we're trying to do is really de-escalate the situation. Figure out, do you want help?
Right.
Do you want to stay living in the woods, for example, or do you want to be in a shelter to eventually find yourself transitional housing? Do you have an addiction problem? Do you have an employment problem? Is it a mental health issue? Let's assess the situation, and let's get you the help you need if you want it. Now listen, you can't help everybody, and some people just don't want to be helped. They don't want to live by the rules of society. They don't care. They're going to be a recluse, and you're not going to fix or change that.
Yeah, that's true.
But there are many that we've encountered that we've been able to intervene and help, and through the shelter, and get them the right services.
Yeah, thank God. We're talking with Mayor Anthony Fanucci from the City of Vineland on the Insight Show. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Hello, I'm John Capizzola.
And I'm Yolanda Garcia-Balicki, and together we're running for Cumberland County Board of Commissioners, and I'm asking for your vote to restore progress to Cumberland County.
For too many years, our Republican-led Commissioners Board has failed our county. They've come up short with a jail resolution. They've also fumbled the opportunity for a county broadband initiative. They've left millions of dollars of federal grant money on the table. Now, our cities and our townships are left to negotiate for themselves.
They've driven away experienced employees and replaced them with friends and families. And while they claim to hold the line on taxes, we know they have spent our county surplus, which will ultimately lead to a painful tax increase in the future.
It's time to bring back stability, opportunity, and integrity here in Cumberland County. Vote for yours truly, John Capizzola, and my awesome running mate, Yolanda Garcia-Balecki, for Cumberland County Commissioner.
Vote column A. Let's protect our future by restoring progress to Cumberland County.
Paid for by Capizzola and Garcia-Balecki for Commissioner.
We're all looking for God. All the signs point to, there is really a God. We try to find him in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places, and through all kinds of things. But there's only one way to find him. That's by personal experience with him. Come visit us this Sunday. We can introduce you to him. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. Jim Quinn along with Mayor Anthony Fanucci. And I did remember the Public Safety Director's name. It's Kurt Hewitt for the city of Millville. And the chief is Ross Hoffman. And the biggest problem, and I know you've talked about it too, is retention. A good friend of mine, her son, Cameron, was number one in the class when he graduated from the police academy and was a Millville police officer. But Delaware came over, the state police, they stole him away. And it's an interesting situation. I run into a couple of former Millville police officers who are now New Jersey state police officers. As you said, it's tough. So you got to pay or you lose them. And that's what's happened. That's why their numbers are down. Like you said, you guys are paying. You have 159 officers.
Yeah, 159 fully sworn on the roster.
That's fabulous.
We'd like to be at 175.
Oh, my goodness.
That would be the ideal number for us right now. But it's tough to recruit. And here's the thing. The applicant pool is challenged.
Yeah.
We might vet 100 or 150 applicants and come away with 10 that are good for the academy. Then they got to make it through the academy where you lose about 50% there.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a challenge. And then they go out on military.
Yeah.
And because if they get orders or they volunteer in the service, you got to hold those spots, right?
Yeah.
And you can't hire against them. So then you're down,
Yeah.
a few people too. So there's some challenges to it. That's why we always try to keep our numbers a little higher.
Yeah, well, it seems to be doing well. I mean, your people are
expensive, but well.
Yeah.
But you know what? You don't have, again, you don't have quality of life without it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what's scary when, like, I sit on High Street with my business and think, wow, one building next to me, there was a murder, third Friday. It's like, geez, give me
It's tough. And I mean, in Millville, such, and people really discount Millville. Millville is a well-positioned and beautifully scaped town naturally.
Yeah.
You have so many resources. When you and I talk about this almost monthly, I think.
Yeah.
You have your waterway downtown.
Yeah, the river. Yeah,
right.
River. Yeah.
You've got, a beautiful main street that's not as wide as Landis Avenue, because Landis is so wide,
you can't
it takes
talk
away
to
from
the people on the other side.
Right. So, for years you had thriving restaurants and bars and and good things going on, and we would look forward to coming over to Millville to spend a Friday night or Saturday night.
Yep. Go to Winfield's, you go to Levoy. The Levoy is still bringing people in.
Yeah.
But Winfield's is gone. A lot of the places have left.
Yeah, the warehouse was doing well. Yeah. Bojo's did well for a while.
Yeah.
You still got the best chicken wings around over at BJ Roasters.
Julie's great. Yeah.
So, I mean, Bernie's Burgers.
Oh, I love his burgers.
We miss them in Vineland.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way we could have retained them there too. They're great. You have Jim's Lunch.
Yep.
When you had the pizzeria at Bim's, the pizza was doing well.
Speaking of Bim's, thank you for mentioning that.
Sure.
I owned Bim's 50 years ago, and what was really neat, was I sold it. Eventually, I sold it to Dave Suey, who then sold it to Joe Pierce. And Joe's had it for the last 40-some years. Joe just sold it to Rick Morales, who's a former police
I
officer.
say it was a cop.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
super
kidding.
guy. Yeah, Rick is now the new owner of
Okay.
Dim's Pizzeria. And I'm going to have Joe and Rick on, but Rick is just, it's interesting, being in Millville so long. When I was managing the Little League team, I got to meet Ray and Rick. Ray was on the team, and Rick was maybe a year older than Ray. But I give their mother so much credit. She was a single mom and raised two great boys. I think she also has a daughter as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you couldn't ask for two nicer people. They were both super police officers and just did a fantastic job. So I'm happy for Rick.
And Ray finished up in the state police, didn't
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Ray's a great guy. I'll have to come over and visit those guys and come see them.
Yeah.
Because I think it's great. And, we have that too. We have in Violent, we have a pizzeria out there, and one of our retired sergeants owns it, and one of my current detectives is his partner.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, effing good pizza, they call it. It's over on Landis Avenue.
Oh, that's cool.
On my old property where I used to own the rectory, I sold the Sacred Heart Rectory some years back.
Yeah.
They converted the garage into like this little throwback, hole-in-the-wall Brooklyn-style pizzeria. It's takeout only.
Yeah, that's what Bim's is too.
And they've been doing well. It's funny, these cops getting in the pizza business. No offense, I was going to talk about the donut business, but I'm not going to go there tonight. But it's nice to see them in a career after a career.
Yeah, it is.
They've dealt with the public in one way, and now they're going to deal with them in another.
Boy, it's interesting too with Joe Pierce. I love Joe. He's so personable. And Joe is 70 years old now. And when he sold it, part of the deal was he was staying on for 2 years to help Rick, but mainly because that's Joe's love, the people. He said, Jim, I would miss my customers. Mm-hmm. So now he's working for Rick. And
good for him.
Yeah. And, I don't know about you, Mary. You keep very busy. But I often say, if I didn't have this to do, I don't know what I'd do because I don't have any hobbies. I don't play golf or tennis or all that stuff. And at least being here interviewing you is like my high for the day. This is wonderful. And many other people that I'm lucky to.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I had Michael Presley on?
No.
Elvis's son. And he explained that apparently Elvis had impregnated 5 women, which isn't surprising. And the 5 all had what you call an illegitimate child. He said that's what he was. But what a great guy. And we're sitting there, and he looks super. And I said something, and he's 69 years old. He looks like he's 49. I said, whatever you're doing, man, keep doing
it.
Yeah, he looks fabulous. But it was so neat to have him on and, just be able to
that's cool.
meet the people. And, it's been wonderful. It's what I love doing, what I do. And I say, I just want to keep doing this.
Well, listen, you know how it is. If we don't keep busy,
yeah.
How often do you hear about someone that retires and then a couple weeks later they drop dead, right?
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a lousy golfer.
Retire.
I'm terrible, so I don't have that hobby either. I don't really hunt anymore. Occasionally, once a year, maybe bird hunt. So that I can't even say that's a hobby. I do like to shoot. I maybe shoot at a range once a year. So I can't even say that that's a hobby. I work. I like to work. I love serving the public.
Yeah.
The time will come when my public service will end, and I'll be refocusing more on working in my businesses as I'm doing, but ramping that up again because kids get expensive.
Yeah,
they're hard to maintain.
Yeah. Talk about your children a little bit.
So my son Vincenzo is 19 now. He turned 19 in September.
That's great.
My little guy is just growing up, and
he sure has.
Giovanna's now 12, and Adriana just turned 10 in October.
Oh, that's neat.
Adriana's the little athlete of the crew, but this summer she fell and broke her wrist, both bones in the wrist, fractured one in the forearm.
Oh my gosh!
Finally healed up since the beginning of July.
Oh my goodness.
So we got all the casts off. She couldn't play fall ball this year, so she was disappointed on softball, but she'll be ready for spring. She's just allowed now to get back into dance for the winter season. So she's trying to keep active. But I have 3 wonderful children. Really my purpose for being, right? I love the work, but they motivate me to work even harder because I want to give them everything we didn't have. My wife Stacy, she's still teaching.
Oh, that's good. What does she teach?
She teaches at Johnstone School in Byron.
Okay.
So she's in middle school, and she's working away, and and fortunately, we have a great family dynamic, and we work hard. Mom's going to be 90 in January.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, thank the Lord. We still have her. It's incredible considering just how much time goes by, and she's battled some heart issues over the last few years, and needs a procedure that she can't have because if she has it, she'll never survive it, which is a valve replacement underneath the heart. So it's too invasive, but they did give her one of those TAVR procedures to save the other valve, which has given her the ability to stay alive and give her some quality of life, which is good. But Mom is still sharp, still has her real estate broker's license.
That's
and
super.
Her mind is still good, and, she helps take care of my filing and making sure all my documents are in order.
That's great.
Which is a good thing. But listen, a lot of people have it pretty bad these days. Fortunately, we've had our own go-arounds with health and things, but you know what, right now, God's been good, so we're happy.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, God has blessed the city of Vinyl with you because you've done a fantastic job. And that's where, if you look at your success, because you're a businessman, you've already had employees, you know what it is to make a budget, what you have to do, and you walk right in and you've done a fabulous job. And it's funny, I can't imagine, for the city of Vinyl's sake, I hope you don't quit too soon. You're still young. You could stay on another 20 years.
In mayoral years, I'm like 150. They're more than dog years, ladies and gentlemen. They're more than dog years.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
That makes Jim about 1,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is true. And you know what? I mean, and I know you've done this too. I actually love helping people.
Oh, yeah.
And you can do that through government and doing things like that. And it was funny. I was a freeholder from 1983 to 1991, and I lost in 1991 when Joe Condo was winning. The Republicans won because of Jim Florio. So I got out of my business was doing really well.
Yeah.
And in 1997, I'd actually considered becoming a deacon for the Catholic Church. I thought that would be nice because I think I could give a good sermon. I'm a pretty good speaker.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then I sort of prayed about it. And then one of my employees came up to me and he said, "Jim, you always said you wanted to be the mayor of Millville. It's election time coming." I said, "Yeah, I have." So I did that, and it worked out. I loved being the mayor and being in city commission. It was fabulous. I really enjoyed it. I had great people with me. I had Joe Durella, Jimmy Parent, John Hollingshead, and Jeff Trout. That was the five of us. I mean, you couldn't find five better people to work with.
Yeah, good group.
They were fabulous. And, so I was blessed there to have that opportunity to do those things. And, the good thing, we haven't talked too much about this, you and I, but the nice thing about being mayor and now mayor emeritus is I still get to do weddings. I've done over 350 weddings since 1997.
Wow.
And sometimes, Valentine's Day I was doing 3, Christmas Eve I remember doing 3 at a time, and all that kind of stuff. But people are happy, and it's a happy occasion. I just did one in Commercial Township about a month ago. I've done some up in Williamstown. I can go anywhere in the state to do them. And I enjoy it. I don't take any money. I just enjoy going and helping.
With you, I never take anything for it. And
see the people happy.
Listen, it's a great joyous occasion.
Yeah.
You get to have a little fun with it, which is nice. And you're there. I've had to do a couple weddings for, soldiers that were getting deployed. So they needed emergency weddings in case something happened. So being there to give back emergently to a service member was very rewarding for me. The 2 times I had to do it. But you're right. Helping people is a big deal. I have a great team, as you know, around me at the city.
Yeah.
And it's important to everyone. Council goes out of its way to try to help and do whatever they can for people or bring it to us or to like Bobby D to say, hey, listen, we had this complaint at a meeting or this came up. Can we work on this topic? Which is great. So it's good information. Bobby D's a great right hand. Rick Tanetta's a great left hand. Yeah. We all know Sandy,
She's
helping
amazing.
with economic development and, and her staff, which does such a great job. My assistant Alona in my office, when she goes on vacation, I'm half lost when I come into the building. She was away for a week recently, and she got back, and I'm like, thank God you're back.
I know what you mean with my business. If it wasn't for
Yeah.
the one, I had Tony Coogan was my glue that held it together, and then when she retired, I got Bobby Michaelick, who I love also.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to have
Yeah.
two wonderful women to help run the business because I'm not organized.
Yeah, you know what? We need support staff,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I said, somebody said to me one day, like, how are you so effective? I said, again, not a lot of talent, not an artist, not a singer, not a musician.
Yeah.
When I was an athlete, I was a good athlete, but I wasn't a naturally gifted athlete. I had to work at the craft, right? So I worked very hard. So for me, hard work has just always been a thing. And I said, I'm gifted in the respect of leadership because I'm not afraid to make decisions. I make informed decisions, but I'm not afraid to make them. I educate myself on whatever the situations are to make those decisions. And you've got to be able to move forward, but you need your support base and your staff to help you get to where you are. IS department, Tony Quigley's been doing a great job with this broadband network we're working on, which in the new year we'll have some pilot programs out there where we're going to be testing areas, which is great. The electric utility and the water utilities, we're constantly upgrading the infrastructure and improving upon what we have there. So Dennis Coons is there now since John Lilly had passed away some time back. So Dennis is doing a great job as a director in those utilities. Edwin Alicia, who's our public safety director, Rich Ranchetta in fire. You name it. Like you can go right on that. Matt Rabbi, your buddy,
love Matt.
Handles L&I.
Yeah, right.
And we just the list is endless.
You got a lot of great people.
Yeah, I've got a great team.
We're talking with Mayor Anthony Fanucci from the city of Vinyl. We'll be back right after these messages.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Hello, I'm John Capizzola.
And I'm Yolanda Garcia-Balicki, and together we're running for Cumberland County Board of Commissioners, and I'm asking for your vote to restore progress to Cumberland County.
For too many years, our Republican-led Commissioners Board has failed our county. They've come up short with a jail resolution. They've also fumbled the opportunity for a county broadband initiative. They've left millions of dollars of federal grant money on the table. Now, our cities and our townships are left to negotiate for themselves.
They've driven away experienced employees and replaced them with friends and families. And while they claim to hold the line on taxes, we know they have spent our county surplus, which will ultimately lead to a painful tax increase in the future.
It's time to bring back stability, opportunity, and integrity here in Cumberland County. Vote for yours truly, John Capizzola, and my awesome running mate, Yolanda Garcia-Balicki, for Cumberland County Commissioner.
Vote column A. Let's protect our future by restoring progress to Cumberland County.
Paid for by Capizzola and Garcia-Balicki for Commissioner.
We're all looking for God. All the signs point to, there is really a God. We try to find him in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places, and through all kinds of things. But there's only one way to find him. That's by personal experience with him. Come visit us this Sunday. We can introduce you to him. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Many people.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. Jim Quinn along with Violent Mayor Anthony Fanucci. And Mayor, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for all you do for the city of Violent. You've done a fabulous job. And, you know, because you don't have a lot of hobbies, I hope for the city of Violent's sake you stay for a long time. Have you thought about moving up in government to another position?
So I've been asked a number of times in my elected career about advancing. I've declined every time. I'm all about home.
Well, and you know, you make a big impact at home. You're very important. You do a great job.
Thank you.
You know, that's what, and you enjoy it. Like you mentioned, all the good people you're surrounded by. You've got there. That it was what makes it really nice. Like, you know,
I mean, and listen, it's always tempting when they talk to you about the assembly or the Senate or something. And, you know, that's why I'm super happy that, you know, Michael Jr. is the senator, you know, because he's my dear friend, and I never have to even look at that position.
Yeah,
you know,
he's a great guy.
I don't want to leave Vineland. I love being here. It's where I can effectuate the most change.
Yeah, exactly.
From my years on the school board to the council presidency to, you know, my third term now as mayor. I just believe in what we're doing here. And, you know, it doesn't mean like I would never, you know, seek to help in Trenton in some capacity.
Right.
You know, if the opportunity arose to be appointed to a board or something there and I could effectuate positive change for South Jersey,
Right.
I would certainly look at that and consider it. But as far as running for statewide office or something like that, no, I don't. I like being close to the kids. I like having the flexibility to be close to my businesses.
Yeah,
it allows me the time to come and do things like this, or we can connect with the public again. And if I'm somewhere else, I can't be the same father, the same husband, the same businessman, and you know, and I don't want to be that. And I applaud people that can balance it and do it because it's difficult. You know, Mike Jr. is all over the place all the time.
Yeah.
You know, he's working very, very hard.
Yes, he is.
Congressman Van Drew, you know, again, another one, all over the place all the time. And they're, you know, obviously our local congressman, local senator for some folks, you know, that don't know. And you look at some of the gentlemen and ladies that are in the north that, you know, work hard in their districts and they're big. You know, it's a lot. And then if they have to go to Washington and deal with that madhouse down there in D.C.,
that's the last place you want to be.
Yeah. I'll go visit you and say hi and grab some coffee with you, but it's not for me.
Yeah. Mayor, thank you so much for your time.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. And I want to thank Ryan Narowski for producing the show tonight. I want to thank Yelmas Kankel, the people at the Queen Diner here in Millville, for having us and letting us have the program here and being a sponsor. And we'll see you soon, folks. Have a nice night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Hello, I'm John Capizzola.
And I'm Yolanda Garcia-Balicki, and together we're running for Cumberland County Board of Commissioners, and I'm asking for your vote to restore progress to Cumberland County.
For too many years, our Republican-led Commissioners Board has failed our county. They've come up short with a jail resolution. They've also fumbled the opportunity for our county broadband initiative. They've left millions of dollars of federal grant money on the table. Now, our cities and our townships are left to negotiate for themselves.
They've driven away experienced employees and replaced them with friends and families. And while they claim to hold the line on taxes, we know they have spent our county surplus, which will ultimately lead to a painful tax increase in the future.
It's time to bring back stability, opportunity, and integrity here in Cumberland County. Vote for yours truly, John Capizzola, and my awesome running mate, Yolanda Garcia-Balicki, for Cumberland County Commissioner.
Vote column A. Let's protect our future by restoring progress to Cumberland County.
Paid for by Capizzola and Garcia-Balicki for Commissioner.
We're all looking for God. All the signs point to, there is really a God. We try to find him in all kinds of ways, in all kinds of places, and through all kinds of things. But there's only one way to find him. That's by personal experience with him. Come visit us this Sunday. We can introduce you to him. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC. Programming that serves the South Jersey market.